Is it okay? All right. So I just got back from church. I went to High Point. I got an email. It said church going up on a Tuesday, so I had to go. Um, High Point is not really my style, but um, I like. I'm like, well, I'm not like, but I'm like, I need to be more involved in church in general. You know what I'm saying? And I plan on going to one of my churches get-togethers tomorrow. So that should be another thing. Get connected, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so we went there, and the pastor, well, whoever preached that day, his name was Joel Johnson, and he told this story about how he met his wife. He was like, I'm just smitten with her. I was in love with her, and so when I decided I wanted to marry her, I knew I had to do like this really spectacular proposal. So he's from Santa Barbara, California or something. So she flew out there, under the guise that they were gonna go meet his family and everything. So he told her, bring a really nice dress. He took her to somewhere in Santa Barbara at some restaurant near the beach and something or another. So oh yeah, so he walked her out somewhere, wherever they were at, and he gave her like this present, and it was a picture by this dude. He does like these Italian looking pictures, and it was like it's called The Missing Man. And so she was like, I really like this picture. My favorite picture about him, because he's my favorite artist, is I think it's called Dance Me to the End of Love. And it's this woman in a white dress and a man in a tuxedo, and they're dancing on the beach. And so he's like, oh, well, I got another present for you. So he had another present. She opened it, and it was that picture that she talked about. And she was like, how do you know? How do you know? He was like, oh, I had a good quiet time, blah blah. So now he was saying, he was listening to her, like, taking notes from like in times before about things that she liked and all that stuff like that. And so then he's like, well, I have one more present for you. And then he gave her this a box, and she opened it, and it had a really nice white dress in it. He told her, well, you put this on. Your other gift is behind the restaurant. So she went inside, and then he had like one of his friends out there doing something. He had another friend rush out and give him a tuxedo that he put on. Blah blah blah. They saw each other on the beach. They went walking on the beach. Um, then he, oh yeah, so he had all in all, he had set this really nice setup and all that stuff. He proposed to her. She said yes. He thought it was over. No, it wasn't over. He had chartered a little plane to take them to San Francisco to some I don't know, some dinner cruise. And I'm just thinking like, dude, this was at this single church thing. I'm like, okay, now all the dudes have been here like, hey, we gotta do all this now after you. So he was saying basically what he was getting at was how he cared so much about his wife, and so he's like, and then he was talking about his kids also and how much he loved them, and he was like, if I feel that way about my wife, God feels like 10,000 times more. He's even more smitten with you than I am with my wife, or how you feel about anyone else in particular. And so, to not be worried about like what's going to happen in your life, or if things will ever work out for you, because God is taking notes of the things that you like, and just like all these bad situations. And it reminds me of something, well, something, not something. What I was reading, me and my friend were doing this Bible study, and it's in about Genesis 45, all that little whatever. It was Joseph, and how at the end of it, in the beginning, back when he was like a jerk, he was telling his brothers and his dad and his parents how I had a dream that y'all was gonna bow down to me, and they were all hating on him for that, and he was annoying, but he got threw in the pit. Then his brothers decided to sell him to some Ishmaelite traders, and he was in Egypt, and he was just going through for a very long time, like in prison for a while, for a crime he didn't commit. And finally things started working out for him. And I remember, well, I don't remember, but yeah, I guess I do remember when he finally met with his brothers, and he was like just laying around with them and everything. And he finally couldn't take it anymore, and he was crying. And he was like, I'm your brother. Like, don't be upset with yourselves. God planned all this out. And I was wondering. I think, well, this is what I think. Like, maybe it finally hit him when all that happened. Like, oh, I remember when God said, well, when I had that dream about my brothers and my father and everyone bowing down to me. And you may think things are gonna happen a certain way, like y'all gonna bow down to me and my life is gonna be all hunky dory from my dream until then. But like, you have to go through a lot of horrible situations, things that you don't necessarily deserve, but it makes you better and it benefits other people in the process. And so I really like that because, like right now I'm at this place where I'm just like, ugh, I'm so frustrated. Nothing's working out right. And I think most of it is my own fault. But like what Joseph said was like, God now, we're responsible for the things we do, but God is sovereign. And so even when we do make mistakes, if God is for us, what is the verse, Missy? Our God is for us, to be against us. Well, God is for us even when we're kind of against ourselves. So He'll make all things work together for the good of those who are called according to His purposes. So that's not to say that I should continue doing ratchet bot things, but just do the best. Well, do the right thing, and even if I mess along the way, God has good plans for me at the end. I'm not gonna be like I'm gonna do whatever I want. The end's gonna be wonderful. I don't want to come to the end like a missing arm or anything. Just like chilling out, not stressing. It was a wonderful sermon. I wish I could have recorded it. But in any event, um, church is going down next month, February 17th. So if you're watching this, when you go, you can definitely come with me. It's going to start a caravan. Just start bringing people. I'm not a member of your church, but you said bring some more people. They had Swanky's Tacos. They had a photo booth. If you're single, they had a lot of, cute people there. There was one dude, he looked like Thor mixed with Jack Black, mixed with the dude from Anchorman 2, the Australian news dude. He was fine. He was fine. He was fine. I say Jack Black because he was short, but he was fine. Um, um, there's a lot of single ladies in there. They were choosing. It was a little awkward to be honest with you. It was like I did feel like I was at what's that place in Knoxville? Any white bar in Knoxville, minus the alcohol. It was really it there was a lot of pressure. I'll probably like skip the beginning and the end and just stay for the sermon. But besides that, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. I'm just awkward. You probably like it. I'm not used to church, really. I'm just used to getting in and out. But yeah, I'm sure that I'm gonna upload this. So tired. I am. Need to go to sleep. New hair. Don't care. All right.